Mr. Rawlison, 23 CF 1299. There's some additional discovery that we are awaiting from the state, if we can continue him to 113 as well.
2 months ago, I said that we were going to trial. Why wouldn't the discovery to the state? Why wasn't the discovery produced earlier? Why aren't we going to trial this cycle?
It was produced to the public defender's office, and then
That's a lot.
Judge, may we?
Yes, sir.
My cases are listed under Flaherty.
Ma'am?
They're listed under Flaherty. The first case I have is Robert Marshall in 24 CF 1524. There is a waiver on file. I'd like to continue, Mr. Marshall, one last time. We have taken some depositions, and that prompted another round of discovery. The state is still waiting on receiving those additional videos, so I'd like to continue this to January the 13th, Judge.
Ms. Merrifield, if you want to approach and look.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. State?
If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV Preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law. 850-303.
So the underlying case is continued one cycle. I have converted the order revoking bond to an ROR bond. Madam Clerk will probably need a copy of that, too.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Judge.
Who's next?
The next case I have is Guy Nelson in 23 CF 1999. There is a waiver on file for Mr. Nelson. We have taken, we believe, most of the depositions in this case. Most of discovery has been shared. We do have some reciprocal discovery to provide to the state. ASA Barrett and I have discussed this. We would ask for one additional continuance so that we can essentially get together and kind of discuss the logistics and see if there is a resolution possibility.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
The next case is Austin Odom, and that's 24 CF 778. There is a waiver on file. I do have a plea in absentia to misdemeanor assault, if I may approach.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good, thank you.
Judge, this will resolve the case with JCS probation. Mr. Odom will check in within 24 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
The next one is Tia Smith. It's 24 CF 2067. There is a waiver on file. I'd like to leave her set for docket day as a plea or continuance. I anticipate being able to resolve her case.
Okay, good.
And then the last case I have, Judge, is under my name.
Yes, ma'am.
It's Perry Shermer in 24 CF 1820. There's a waiver on file. It is the first time up. We just scheduled depositions. They're not until January the 6th, so I'd like to continue it to the next pretrial,
Okay,
113.
it's continued until January 13th.
Thank you, Judge. I'll see you this afternoon for inmates.
Okay, good. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Durrell? Good morning, sir.
May it please the court, Dustin Durrell. Your Honor, my first client is Mr. Michael Lewis, requesting a continuance on Mr. Lewis's case. I don't believe the state has any objection. No objection, Your Honor.
What are you going to be doing for the next 2 months?
May we approach, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Six two 667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items. And we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us.
Mr. Lewis's case is continued,
And what is that date, Your Honor?
January 13th.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next is Mr. Andrew Moray. Your Honor, Mr. Moray has signed a PTI agreement, and we have sent him to the probation office this morning. He's on his way there now. I guess we just need a control date from Mr. Moray, make sure everything gets signed and filed.
We'll just continue at one cycle.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next is Mr. Robert Morris. I'd like to leave him set for next Monday for entry of a plea, Your Honor.
Okay? Yes, sir.
Your Honor, next is Mr. Stephen Womble. Your Honor, I've reviewed all the discovery in this matter. I don't believe I've seen an FDLE report. Mr. Snell, do you know if that's come in yet on Mr. Womble? Yeah, I know. I ambushed you on that one. I apologize. If we can continue Mr. Womble, see if we can track down the FDLE report, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Next is Madison Workman. Your Honor, this is the one I was looking into mental health court. I was recently told they are not going to be allowing Ms. Workman into mental health court. So I'm going to start setting depositions on this one. I know it's getting a little older, Your Honor, but we were trying to resolve it, and that has been shut down. So now I need to proceed in the normal way with the case.
I understand. It's continued.
And Mr. Valentine is on the 1:30 docket. I believe that's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Johnson? Good morning.
Lord Brad Johnson here on behalf of Brian D. Howard. Mr. Howard is present in the courtroom. Your Honor, case number 22 CF 2185.
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, if we may approach.
Yes, sir.
You be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and
Mr.
metal,
Howard, do you agree
re-roofs,
to a
repairs,
continuance? Okay. The court will see you back here on January 13th at 9 o'clock. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. And of course, if we resolve it earlier, we can bring it in on a motion day, correct, Your Honor?
Please. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Patel. Mr. Patel. Oh, there we go.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
I'm also covering for Mr. Browning. His client's name is Jonathan Mendez Bonilla.
Yes.
He's asking to continue the case. It's the first time up, and he's not received discovery yet.
Okay. Yes, sir. It's continued.
Next, Jay Patel and Tim Shaw on behalf of Brett Stephen Bay. He may be off the docket. You signed an order last week.
I've still got it on mine, but
Okay.
yes, sir.
It is a stipulated continuance. If the court recalls, he suffered a pretty significant injury
Yes, sir.
in the jail.
Okay. Yes, sir. It's continued.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Adrian Morris, 24 CF 1195. We have depots set for December the 11th. If we can set that to the next pretrial.
Yes, sir. It's continued.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Charles No, 24 CF 1662. We've received discovery. I need to get with the client to review it. He lives in Atlanta, and then I need to set depositions.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of David Pearson, 24 CF 1310. We've not received discovery yet.
It's continued.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Donovan Jermaine Taylor, 24 CF 770. We've received the discovery now as of 10/31, so I need to review that with the client, then hire an expert.
Okay. Yes, sir. It's continued.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Andrew William Thomas, 24 CF 699. If we can set that for docket day without subpoenas.
Please continue.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And then finally, Jay Patel on behalf of Anthony Yule, 24 CF 797. We have depositions set for 12/17. If we can continue that.
Yes, sir. It's continued.
I have nothing further. Maybe excused.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mr. Patel.
Thank you.
Mr. Shaw.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
Tim Shaw. First case I'd like to cover, Judge, is for Michael Griffith. He had called and asked to cover Darius Wingate, 23 CF 241.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the attorney is who?
Michael Griffith.
Griffith. Yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir.
He had asked to continue that a cycle to complete depositions.
Okay.
He's an inmate. You want me to have him call in or Zoom in at 1:30, but
If he, I think that'd probably be the best. Yes, sir.
all right, I'll let him know, Judge. Judge, Tim Shaw, first case I have is Kevin Lynn, Lynn, 23 CF 2560. I think I mentioned to the state, to the court last time that the state had provided us a new witness, a new doctor in the case. That deposition is currently set for 12/17. So we'd ask to continue that one cycle.
Any objection from the state?
No, Judge.
Okay, it's continued.
Juan Pantojas, Judge, is the next case, 24 CF 1870. First time up, we're setting deposition, so we'd ask that for a one cycle.
Yes, sir.
Next case under my name, Judge, is Sean Robertson. That'll be on the 1:30 docket. We'll come back with him. You got it? Okay. Next case, Judge, is Sheena Russell. That's with State Attorney Paul Gillespie.
I'm present on the Zoom.
Hello, Mr. Gillespie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Judge, last we had a status conference a week or two ago on this particular case. Mr. Gillespie had indicated he had some additional discovery, I think, that was being provided or anticipated maybe having some, and he wanted to do a scheduling order. We don't have any objection to that if that's what the state's doing.
And Judge, this is an old case, and I brought it up. I kept trying to bring it in for status. We have a subpoena for Ascension Sacred Heart records, which are coming out. They had some issues in getting those to us. Defense has indicated that they have reciprocal discovery. I do think the best plan of course of action is to get some sort of scheduling order, and if I need to do a motion to compel discovery from the defense, I may need to do that as well. If we can leave it on for docket day so we can keep track of this, and I'm probably going to try and file something by the end of this week for a scheduling order so we can get this moving along.
Okay, so before next Monday, you're going to get me a proposed, and send Mr. Shaw a proposed scheduling order?
I can make that, Judge, yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock. So I'm
Okay.
putting it for, please continue.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
And Judge, I'm also covering for Mike Flowers, who is handling a Bay County case via Zoom this morning. We have Marquise Dewberry. Mr. Dewberry is present. Well, he was a few minutes ago, Judge. 22 CF 1218. Mr. Flowers had asked to leave that on for Monday for a clear continuance. The state, and I think, probably need to approach on that.
Okay, please.
Specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Man, I got this. Let's roll.
Fight fire with fire, take one.
Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us, because we fight fire. Damn thing ain't working. Whoa!
Not cool, bro. I'm attorney Coy Browning. Personal injury is no joke. Just ask him.
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
So it's plea or continue for Dewberry.
Thank you, Judge. Next case, Judge, is Matthew Christopher Reeves, 24 CF 802. Mr. Flowers asking to continue that for depositions to be set, obviously, in light of the type of case it is.
Yes, sir.
Perfectly appropriate. And lastly, under Mr. Flowers' name, Judge, is Richard Gene Starr, 23 CF 1071. He's asked to put that on plea or continuance for Monday. My understanding, is there a witness that's unable to be located out in Colorado?
Answer. I know there's a witness out there, but I didn't know she's unable to be located.
Okay. The note that I had said forensic analysis. Has that been completed?
Judge, the defense typically go to the sheriff's office to do that, and as long as they're a defense attorney with what parties I'm familiar with, I don't go with, so I can't advise the court whether or not he's been over there to review that evidence.
You want to leave it on for Monday and Sunday?
Yes, sir, please. Please continue, and if you'll get him to report on that.
Thank you, Judge. And Judge, I believe that's all I have. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Mr. Cotton.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
One on your morning docket, one on your afternoon docket, if I can handle both. I'll start with Ms. Martinez, M-A-R-T-I-N-E-Z, case number 24 CF 2107. Your Honor, I've received some discovery on that case. I have not had an opportunity to review it. I just need a little more time on that case.
Okay, yes, sir, it's continued.
Okay. The next case I have is Juan Trevino Salazar. That's 21 CF 704, violation of probation, and a new law, 24 CF 310. Your Honor, on that case, I think we're ready to go on both. After speaking with Ms. Barrickman, I believe she'd like to move forward on the violation of probation first. I spoke with the clerk, and she gave me multiple dates after speaking with Ms. Barrickman, I believe December 16th at 2:30, if that'll work for the court.
Okay, Ms. Barrettman, good for that date?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Okay, so VOP, December 16th at 2:30, and have the other case will follow that?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay.
And I'll call the jail and let them know not, do they do that by video where they're going to
They
transport?
do. They do it via Zoom.
I'll call him and let him know he doesn't need to show.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
Yes.
What happened to Rithermeyer?
Judge?
I believe that was continued
That
by
would-
order.
I think we provide a written order. That's continued. There's some depositions that are upcoming, and then it'll be ready.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gates? Good morning, sir.
I have three cases on Your Honor's docket. The first one is Richard Parsons. There has been a plea in absentia to a misdemeanor that has been signed by the defendant and reported to the state attorney's office and Mr. Gomez. And I discussed that this morning. If we could just leave that on for Monday, it should fall off the docket by then.
Okay, misdemeanor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. The next case I have is Jeremy Thedford, if we could approach.
Yes, sir.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal
So,
hours that
Jeremy,
you've been
Thetford's
expecting, but now
case
we're
is
open
continued.
Saturday 10 to 4.
Your Honor, the final case I have is Son, S-O-N. It's 2024 CF 1157. That should be a plea or continuance for next Monday. We're working on a deferred prosecution agreement.
Good.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll see you then.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gilbert. Mr. Gilbert, good. Hey.
Two cases. First is Lois Paris and 24 CF 1507. We have waiver on file. We'd like to leave that set for docket day for a plea.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And the second case is Chad Woods and 24 CF 890. We have a waiver on file. On this one, have we approached, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple: to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
So it's plea continued.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Switek. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've got Ryan Reynolds, it's 24 CF 1137.
Mr. Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds. Thank you.
He signed a PTI.
Oh, good, okay. Thank you. So, Mr. Reynolds, just because probation hadn't signed it yet, I'm going to continue your case until January 13th. But once probation accepts the pretrial intervention, then it'll fall off the docket. So stay in touch with Mr. Switek.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you in that program. Yes. Mr. Switek, you want to give that probation? Thank you.
Next is Alexander Robinson, 24 CF 691.
Hello, Mr. Robinson. Good morning, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Robinson would withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and plead no contest to 6 charges, 5 charges. Traveling to meet a minor, using a computer to facilitate sexual contact, transmitting obscene material times 3. In exchange for the plea, the state has agreed to sentence him to 6 years in the Department of Corrections, followed by 9 years sex offender probation. With GPS, no internet access other than for work purposes, pending a risk assessment and safety plan. No contact with minors. There'll be a sex offender designation. Curfew between 10 and 6 a.m. adjustable by probation for work or school purposes. Fines and costs of $615. Could be adjudicated guilty of the offenses. I've got a score sheet, we've looked at it, and would stipulate that it's accurate.
Okay. If you hold on one second. So which 2 counts are being null pros?
2 and 7.
7 is the use of the two-way communication device.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay? Okay, good. Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Robinson, if you'll raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. Robinson, are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been treated for any mental illness or emotional disturbance, or are you suffering from any of those at this time?
I've been to trauma therapy a couple months ago. So I was having mental issues a few months ago, but I don't believe I'm having any issues right now, more than expected.
Okay. Has anyone prescribed you any medication for that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And does that, are you on those medications now?
I haven't been taking them. I've been saving them up for when I am in and can no longer get them.
I'm sorry, you're saving them up for what?
For when I can no longer get them.
Okay, so do you feel like, did you read the plea agreement?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you discuss it with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or coerced you into entering the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than what's in the plea agreement?
No, Your Honor.
The opposite of that, Mr. Robinson, has anybody told you that if you do not enter this plea today, you shall be sentenced to 15 years in prison or any other definite sentence? So listen to my question. My question is to make sure that Mr. Switek, nobody told you if you don't enter this plea, you shall be sentenced to something. Because if the jury found you guilty, if you went to a jury trial, I wouldn't know what I'd sentence you to. You know, we'd go through a sentencing hearing and you could be sentenced up to 20, 30, 45 years is the maximum. But as anybody said, if you do not enter this plea agreement, you shall be sentenced to 10 years in prison or any other definite sentence.
I was advised to go with the plea deal. Otherwise, then I would have been expecting to serve up to 15 years minimum.
The difference between could and shall.
Right. Do you understand that I don't know what I would sentence you to if the jury found you guilty? Do you understand that? Okay. And so 15 years is not set in stone. Judge Stone, who takes over this division next year, smiles whenever he says that, but you know, there isn't anything that's definite. So I want you to just, I don't want you to feel, you know, coerced into entering this plea because you think if I don't enter this plea, I shall be sentenced to something, because nothing is definite at this point. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You have a question for me or your attorney? I understand the maximums that are on here, but they're maximums. There isn't a minimum that says, if you don't enter this plea, you have to do this. You want to take a second and talk to Mr. Switek?
Yes.
Please. So, any questions for the court?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's go back to the mental health portion. Just generally, if I accept your plea, where are you going?
I'm going to try and go to either Wakulla, or Walton, or Okaloosa County correctional facilities.
Okay. So you're going to go to prison, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
For how long?
72 months, Your Honor.
Okay. And then that's followed by what?
9 years probation.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Robinson, I do accept your plea. I find that you're alert. How far did you go in school?
I finished high school, college, and then I finished tech school in the military, but after that, it was nothing else.
Okay. Are you satisfied with Mr. Switek's representation of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I do accept your plea. I find that you're alert and intelligent, that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered, that you understand the nature of the charges against you, and are represented by competent counsel with whom you state you are satisfied. I find that there is a factual basis for the entering of the plea. So counts number 2 and count 7 are dismissed. You're adjudicated guilty of counts 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. On count 1, you're sentenced to 72 months with the Department of Corrections. All of these are with credit for all time served, followed by 9 years of sex offender probation. Count 3, 5 years, 60 months with the Department of Corrections. All of the sentences are to run concurrently, run at the same time. So it's 5 years for counts 3, 4, 5, and 6 with the Department of Corrections, credit for all time served. And those sentences are followed by, well, the 9 years of probation, is that only on count 1?
Yes, Judge, that's a second-degree felony.
Okay. And for that probation, you'll be designated a sex offender. It'll be 9 years of sex offender probation. You will need to wear a GPS monitor, have no internet access other than for work purposes, pending a risk assessment and safety plan. You'll have no contact with any minors. Your curfew will be from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And that's adjustable by probation for work and school purposes. I'm sorry?
It should be 10.
What did I say?
9.
Okay, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Thank you. You'll need to pay the court costs and then the cost of supervision. Mr. Robinson, you do have 30 days to appeal this judgment and sentence. If you wish to appeal, it must be in writing. If you can't afford an attorney to represent you for that appeal, one may be appointed for you. Do you understand your appellate rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Thank you, Mr. Short.
There are 2 more cases. Tajay Smith, 22 CF 2468. I'd like to leave that set for docket day without subpoenas.
Yes, sir, Mr. Smith. What are we doing
Leave you set for docket day?
for trial?
No, without subpoena.
Okay, I'd said trial a couple months ago. Why aren't we going to trial?
Well, no one else has set a trial. We're not going to trial. This is a case that if he pays restitution, the state has agreed to null pros the case.
Okay, but if he doesn't, we're going to trial.
If he doesn't, I think that he's going to PTI.
To the state, is he going to PTI if he doesn't pay the restitution? Are you agreeing to that? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
So Mr. Smith's case
Hi,
is
I'm
set
Michael
for
Gilbert,
clear
defense
trial.
attorney with Warrior Law.
Then I've got various and sundry cases with Mr. McKinney, Ian Wilson.
Okay, so you're coming back this afternoon for the inmate? Are you going to appear via Zoom?
Well, I would ask to appear by Zoom. We were just going to leave it set for Monday as well. And Mr. McKinney's not here.
Okay.
But that's what he represented to me this morning.
Okay, I'll see you this afternoon, so your client knows what's going on. Okay?
So Zoom, Judge,
Yeah,
that's fine?
that's fine. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, that's all.
I do have a couple more. I have a Jonathan McCoy.
I need to speak with the state attorney.
Your Honor, I think I have an idea of what he's going to talk about. I just double checked with my assistant.
Your Honor, the first I have is Curtis Hinson on the docket, and I have a written plea agreement to submit.
Okay, thank you.
It is for just a misdemeanor paraphernalia charges. Does the court wish for me to announce or just provide?
No, maybe you can just provide it. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the next I have on the docket is Dennis Ishman. That's 24 CF 2288. Your Honor, Mr. Ishman, the information that I got was that he was homeless, so I don't have any contact information. This is a case that was transferred from Division 1. His original court date was a December court date, so I don't know that he ever got notice of this court date. I don't know how he would have gotten notice of this court date. So I would ask the court allow me to continue this so that I can go to Judge Ketchell's court date in December and try and locate Mr. Ishman. I do have a misdemeanor written plea agreement offer for him that would resolve his case. So I'm asking the court not issue a KPS at this time.
Any objection from the state?
No objection.
It's continued.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the next I have is Brittany Lawley. That's 24 CF 2075. I am asking my office to try and reach out to Miss Lawley. We had been in contact when we first got her case, and she's not here this morning. So if we could just pass her for a bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is Genesis Mendoza. Is she not in jail? Okay. Your Honor, case number 24 CF 519. Miss Mendoza is not present. I was calling her name outside, and another defendant, I believe, mentioned that she was in jail, but she's not in our jail, so I can't represent that to the court. But I've not been able to get in contact with her.
What does the state seek?
KPS, Your Honor.
A KPS is issued for Miss Mendoza. That means that they'll arrest her and put her in jail, bring her before the court. So we appreciate y'all being here.
Your Honor, the next I have is Cruz Rios, 24 CF 1915. I have a written plea agreement in that case.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And Your Honor, this is a plea to a lesser included misdemeanor petty theft. I do have a written plea agreement.
Please.
And Mr. Rios is already represented by court security this morning.
Good. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the next I have is Kendrick Ruffin, 24 CF 2070. This is a similar situation, Your Honor. This is a plea to just a misdemeanor charge, and Mr. Ruffin was previously fingerprinted by court.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the next I have is Alexander Smith, 24 CF 1904.
Mr. Smith, Alexander Smith.
And Your Honor, I have sounded the courtroom and the outside area multiple times trying to find Mr. Smith. I've not seen or heard from him today.
KBS is issued for Mr. Smith.
Your Honor, the next I have is Brent Whitner, 24 CF 2028. Mr. Whitner is going to be entering into PTI in his case, and he was here this morning. He's actually still here, but we did release him so that he could go ahead and go over to probation. I think he's waiting on his co-defendant.
Okay. Mr. Whitner, I wish you the best, sir. Thank you.
And so I think if we just continue it to the 13th, Judge, it should fall off the docket.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the next item is Tiffany Williams. And I just saw Miss Williams. She must still be sitting outside, Your Honor, but I did just speak with her. Her case number is 24 CF 1907. At this time, I've not received a score sheet or offer from the state attorney's office yet. And when I spoke to Mr. Gomez, he indicated there were some things that he needed to look into, reference the score sheet. So if we could continue this to the 13th, hopefully we can bring it in for landing at that time.
Yes, ma'am. It's continued.
And Your Honor, I'll step away and see if I can find Miss Lawley, what's going on with her, and then I'll get back with the court.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge, may I approach?
Yes, sir. because they have, right, and there's no probation in that. Okay, nope. If you'll just let the jail know, that'd be good. Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. You got it. Okay. So, okay. So, Mr. Akbar's 3 cases, which is Polite, 24 CF 719, is continued. And Vanison, 24 CF 716 is continued, as is Mary Vanison, 24 CF 718.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Novity? There's a Y at the end of that. How do you pronounce your last name?
Novotny, Your Honor.
Novotny. Much better than what I butchered it.
Good
Thank
morning,
you.
Your Honor. Galen Novotny on behalf of Caleb Zetterlund, case numbers 24 CF 2035. Your Honor, there is a written waiver of his appearance. Your Honor, this is the first time up. He has been voluntarily in a residential mental health facility following his arrest, so I never had the opportunity to continue it, so I can meet with him and read the discovery.
Okay, good. Then it's continued until January 13th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your
Thanks,
Honor.
Mr. Novotny.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
Yes, sir, you too. Mr. Pittman? Hello, Mr. Pittman.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Jeffrey Pittman on behalf of Joseph Mikevich. This is for case number, this is Hernandez is the client. It's 23 CF 2873. And Your Honor, at this time, we would like to set this on the trial docket and the next court date prior to.
Okay, let me get to Mr. McKevich's. Got it. Okay, and which defendant?
It's Hernandez, Your Honor, and the case is 23 CF 2. Matul Hernandez.
Got it. Okay, so he's an inmate, so they appear at 1:30 via Zoom.
Okay, the next one I have is Ramos. This is 24 CF 2125.
Yes, sir.
And this one we would like to set for trial and leave it on the next pretrial court date.
Okay, well, there's no other pretrial between now and trial.
Okay.
Trial would be, trial would be starting either Tuesday, November 26th, either 26th, 27th, or December 2nd. It would be that week. So to the state, on Ramos, you ready for trial? Ramos, it's 97 on my docket.
What's the question, Your Honor?
Is you ready for trial? Mr. Pittman says that Mr. McKevich wants to go to trial.
Okay, so if we're gonna do that, I was gonna work this case out with Mr. McKevick. Then we're gonna go forward as charged then. So if he was gonna set it for trial today, because we've been through this before, and then after he sets the case for trial and we send out subs, and then he wants to negotiate the case,
I'm not inclined to negotiate if they're gonna ask me to tell me the first time up to send out subs. So is that? what
Mr.
we wanna
Pittman,
do?
are
Or
you the
wanna set it
partner of
for
Mr.
docket
Mc?
day and have Mr. Machevicz come and talk to him?
Let's set it for the docket.
Okay,
And that way, we can negotiate and get it resolved.
I think we can.
Okay, perfect.
So then it'll be plea trial. Okay. So that's what you're seeking,
Yes,
Mr.
Your
Pittman? And to the state, you'd still have to do subpoenas and all those things, is that? Or do you want it plea, well, I mean, either it's plea continue, which would mean we're not going to trial this cycle, or it's plea trial, and then the state's gonna have to do all their homework between now and next Monday. That may be what they're seeking to avoid.
That's correct.
Do you want to, let me ask you this. If I set it for a status, Mr. McKevitt isn't available this afternoon via Zoom or anything else?
No, Your Honor, I'm covering that docket as well.
Okay. Would it give the state enough time if I do plea trial for Monday, but set it for a status conference on Thursday?
No, sir.
Okay. You got to tell me what you want to do.
From my perspective, it should be set plea or continue, and we can work the case out. It's with the quick turnaround to do the subpoenas, then if I'm gonna do that and track everybody down to
Yes,
get
sir.
ready for a trial, then we're gonna go to trial as charged, so that's
Understand.
my position.
Mr. Pittman, what do you want to do?
Your Honor, I have to be here this afternoon. I might be able to get Mr. McKevitt and we can see where we're at in negotiations. Could we address it on this afternoon's docket?
Okay, so we'll just pass it until this afternoon.
And Your Honor, that will leave me with, I have two for this afternoon. Is it possible that I may appear via Zoom?
Yes, sir.
And is there a Zoom meeting ID that's available?
There is. You ready to write it down?
Yes, sir, I am.
It is 461, well, it shows on the screen, but 461.
Your Honor, may
I'll
be excused.
see you this afternoon. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, that was all the private attorneys I had. Whoever wants to go next. Yes, sir.
William Wade, on behalf of Jeff and Joe, Your Honor.
Thanks, Mr. Wade.
Mr. Bowe has two cases, Your Honor. Last time we were here, there was a second eval, competency eval, that was, the interview was happening, I think the day after that appearance. That's now been done.
I can't hear you if you'll.
That's now been done.
Okay.
So we've got one report that says that he wasn't competent to begin with, and then we got a second one that says that he is.
Okay.
I think that he is. I don't think that's really an issue on that, and I wanted to inform the court that that's been done. I was able to view the evidence in the second case last week, so I'm not really completely prepared to go forward on all of it. So the bottom line is I would be asking for a continuance on both.
There's no objection.
Is there going to be a third evaluation?
No. The evaluation, I think, is resolved.
Okay.
It's just that I just was able to make the appointment to see the images and the.
So the second evaluation said competent, and the first evaluation said that?
I'm sorry, Judge.
The first and second evaluation said competent?
The first one said no, and the second one said that he is competent.
Okay, and you're satisfied with the second?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Any objection to continuing Mr. Vo's case?
No objection to continuance, Judge.
It's continued. Cases, I should say. Mr. Wade, anything else?
No, what is the date on the continuance, Judge?
It's January 13th. And it'll be
9?
Judge Stone.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, who's next?
Morning, Judge.
Morning, sir.
Alex Morris on behalf of Kaylin Jones.
Thanks, Mr. Morris.
Judge, it's 22 CF 1135. Mr. Jones is in custody. I know Your Honor's policies with respect to Zoom. I'm on my way to federal court in Pensacola, and I was going to see if you'd take it up early.
What are you seeking?
The It's a multi-co-defendant homicide case, of course. My understanding is that the co-defendants have set additional depositions. I mentioned to Your Honor we've made some efforts toward cooperation and resolution. We're not there yet.
Okay.
So, long story short, is I'd be moving to continue to travel along with the co-defendants, but I know that the case is old.
Does Mr. Jones know that you're
He
seeking
do-
to continue?
He does, and I will contact the Sheriff's Department and let them know also.
Let the jail know,
Yes, sir.
okay? To the state?
Oh, no, I was just making sure, because I'm covering for Ms. Glisson, and so
Okay.
they're working on setting depositions with the co-defendants, and
Okay.
that's why we're asking for.
So Mr. Jones's case, 22 CF 1135, is continued until January 13th. If you'll make sure you let the jail know, they don't need to put Mr. Jones on Zoom.
I'll do it.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Judge.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Okay, who's next? Mr. Powell. Good morning, sir.
We got two cases. First one is Bo's case. There's a waiver on both of these. Tommy Lovett, 2024 CF 94954, and there's a traffic ticket, 244566 TR. They're running together. We'd like to leave it for docket day, plea or continuance.
Okay, any objection from the state?
I'm sorry, what case was this, Your Honor?
Plea or continue on 11?
No objection.
Okay, plea or continue?
What day is docket, Judge?
Monday.
Monday, okay. Next case is Samantha Lucas. There's another waiver, 23 CF 2139. We just finished the depot. We've been trying to get it set for a long time. We'd like to leave it set for docket day Monday. Plea or continuance on that one also. Hopefully we'll resolve it.
Okay. Yes, sir, plea or continue. So I'll see you on Monday.
Monday. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Judge. Good to see you, Judge.
Thank you, good seeing you. Mr. Cobb?
Judge, the first case I have on the docket is State of Florida versus Maya Siasco. She's present. Here she comes. Case number 2024 CF 1917. Pursuant to an agreement I've reached with the state, she's going to withdraw her producing her plea of not guilty, enter plea of no contest to one count of misdemeanor battery, be sentenced to 30 days in the Okaloosa County Jail, be given credit for time served, and adjudicated guilty. And I looked up the date. She checked into the jail on August 13th and checked out. I thought that was you. What's your name?
It's number 8 on your docket.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is grand theft.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes,
not grand
correct.
theft, petty theft, sorry. That
Okay.
confused her. It's petty theft, not battery. so,
Okay.
Yeah,
So petty theft,
correct.
adjudication of guilt, 30 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served,
Yes,
court cost, and then $150 public assistance fee, right?
well, I don't know how she's gonna pay that. There's not gonna be probation to follow. Does she have an amount of
I
time to pay it?
I certainly would do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. How do you pronounce your last name?
I butchered that completely.
So do you understand that if I accept your plea, that you're waiving your right to a trial by jury? Okay. Do you have any questions for me or Mr. Cobb or the state?
No, sir.
Okay. I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty of, it's a misdemeanor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Of the misdemeanor, you're sentenced to 30 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served. You'll need to pay the court costs, $150 public assistance fee. How long will you need to pay? Is it about about $800? $400, okay. How long will you need to pay about $400?
She's in the middle of
Dialysis.
Okay, why don't we do 1 year, okay? So if you fail to pay it within 1 year from today, it goes to a civil lien or judgment, not criminal, but civil. when you say you're in dialysis, how many more days do you have
I don't know.
in the
right now.
Okaloosa County Jail?
I wasn't on dialysis in jail. I just started it, but I'm not sure. It's every other day right now.
Okay, so how's that going to happen with her in jail?
She's not going to be in jail. She got enough time in to where she wants to go to jail.
Does the state stipulate that she has served enough time?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Huge difference. So the state stipulates that you've served all that time. Otherwise, they'd take you to the jail, book you in and do all those things and then figure the time. So I just wanted to make sure of that. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Yes, sir.
State versus Levy Lucas.
Mr. Lucas.
Your Honor, I also have Mr. Lucas on 24 CF 1010.
Good. Thank you.
Judge, I'm asking for one last continuance. You can write it down on your vote. No more continuances. I've talked to Mr. Gomez about this. The state does not object. We'll be ready to wrap this up following the cycle after the January 13th pretrial.
Okay. Mr. Lucas, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
Court will see you back here on January 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Kopp.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, case 1010 it's ready for disposition, but given the fact that it's kind of related to the case that was just continued, would the court entertain a continuance for Mr. Lucas on my case?
To the state.
No
any-
objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Lucas, the court will see you back here on both of your cases.
Thank you, Judge. State versus Jennifer Miller, 2023 CF 2413. It's a fairly recent appointment, Judge. I'm in the process of getting all the discovery. I am going to be asking for a continuance to the January 13th docket, but I have a motion to dismiss that's been drafted and waiting for final approval, so I'm going to file that and then get up with the court team.
Good, good. So, Ms. Miller, the court will see you back here no later than January 13th. But if Mr. Cobb files that motion, then we'll set it for a hearing, okay?
Yeah, I told her I expect there'll be some hearing dates between now and the end of the year, so
Good.
hopefully we can get it resolved.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Donald Bruce Sanders, State versus Donald Bruce Sanders, 2023 CF 2460. I have deposition scheduled on December 18th, so I'm asking for that to be passed to the January 13th.
Hello, Mr. Sanders.
How's it going, Mr. Brown?
Good, how are
I've
you?
talked to him, explained to him about the depots, and he's okay with it.
Mr. Sanders, you agree to the continuance? The court will see you back here on January 13th. Thank you, sir.
Was that 2460?
Yes, sir.
And there was one more, Boudreaux.
Type on here, Your Honor, I am back, just because that's how your attorney and them called. It was because they saw the message.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Miss Boudreaux. Is that Miss, no. Okay, so what are you doing with Miss Boudreaux?
I've talked to Mr. Gomez about it, and she's currently in the process of paying down an extensive restitution amount, and so we're going to be asking for a continuance so she continues to pay the restitution on it.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, just for the court's awareness, the state intends to honor the agreement that if she pays it off, then we'll dismiss the case, Your Honor.
Okay, it's continued.
I'll see you this afternoon.
Okay, sounds good, Mr. Cobb.
Okay.
Mr. Tony.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir.
Your Honor, I have one matter before the court today, but I am going to be substituting for a couple of lawyers.
Okay.
The first is 24 CF 1011, State of Florida versus Anthony Withers. I'm going to ask for a continuance on that, Your Honor, but it's my intention to probably have this set for a change of plea date. There's some discovery on the disc that I wasn't able to get that my client had, so I'm going to have to probably just go formally to the state. He was representing himself for a substantial period of time, and I just got on it like the last cycle.
Okay. Any objection from the state? Continuance on Withers?
No, sir.
Okay. It's continued.
The other matter, Your Honor, is for Mr. Henderson, Tony Henderson, in the State of Florida versus Richard Stevens, 22 CF 272. There's a waiver on file, and Mr. Henderson needs a continuance in this case. He's having some issues with discovery, and he's wanted to continue with one cycle.
No
objection, but it is a downward departure offer, if you could just ask him to reach out to me.
So it's continued.
The next, Your Honor, for Mr. Henderson is State of Florida versus Isaiah Satterfield, 24 CF 541. Oh, Your Honor, that client is incarcerated. However, they have deposition set for 1/8/25.
Okay, but you haven't spoken to Mr. Satterfield, right?
I have not, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Henderson has spoken to Mr. Satterfield about a continuance?
I'm going to say yes because of this deposition date, but I can speak to him. If
Okay. Okay, so you're waiving his appearance today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, it's continued one cycle. Thank you, Rachel.
And the last one, Your Honor, is for Mrs. Rayborn. State of Florida versus Pablo Ruiz, 223 CF 466. The defendant has a waiver of appearance on file. Mrs. Rayborn is requesting a motion for continuance for 2 cycles. She sent an email to your JA and the assistant attorney. I think they're working with law enforcement officer McCall and the CI.
Okay. Any objection from the state? So 1 cycle or 2 cycles for Ruiz, which is 114 on my docket? Want to approach?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, what's the?
Congratulations,
January
Crestview's
13th.
very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law. For your recent
Okay. So March 10th at 9 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tony.
That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you, sir. So March 10th,
March 10th?
correct? Right. Okay. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
John Madden here on behalf of Dwayne Wallace. This is 24 CF 976. Judge, we asked for a continuance today. It took us a little while, but we were able to get the alleged victim served for depositions in this case, and those are set for next month. So that's why I'm asking for continuance to get those completed.
And I don't have you down on my docket.
Oh, well.
I don't show you. Do you have Mr. Val?
Yes, sir, I do.
Good, okay. And who's the defendant?
Dwayne Wallace.
Thank you. Any objection from the state to the continuance? Mr. Snell, any objection to the continuance
No, sir.
on Wallace? It's
No,
continued
we have
one.
depositions already scheduled in that case.
Good, thank you. It's continued one cycle.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor. The first one I have is Brandon Preston, 24 CF 705. You know, there's a lot of paper discovery in this that I've received, and I'm also trying to set depositions. I would ask for continuance to the next pretrial.
Okay, to the state, any objection?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was his case?
Preston,
Oh, no objection.
It's continued.
what's that date, Your Honor?
January 13th.
Thank you. The next case I have is Timothy Redinger in 24 CF 1425. We're still waiting on some discovery. We got some, but some's still coming in. We ask for continuance to the
Okay.
next cycle.
It's continued.
Thank you. The next I have is Josue Rivera Rodas, Your Honor, we're in the process of setting depositions in this case. I have received the discovery. I would ask for continuance to the next pretrial.
Yes, ma'am.
The next is Dante Sheffield and 23 CF 1776.
Your Honor, the state had filed a motion for continuance in that case. It was stipulated to by the defendant with the idea, initially, just to kind of rehash what was in there. When we initially reviewed this case, there was a thought, and we represented to the court that we may have this resolved with potential dismissal. Upon reviewing it and speaking with some of my supervision, we do feel like there is a triable fact there. It's a pretty financially documented case, so we're having to go through that. However, the defense is also going to likely be filing a motion to dismiss. So in that motion to continue, we requested to be set for the December 12th at 2:30 p.m. To be able to be having that motion heard. That date was given to us by the defense, and so we were just kind of waiting on that. We would continue into the 113 date, but have to be here on that motion date, Your Honor.
Good, that sounds good. If you'll just make sure that, well, Madam Clerk will put it down on her minute sheet. So December 12th at 2:30 for
Yes,
the
sir.
motion.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Your Honor, the last one I have is Deontay Wingate. He is listed as in jail, but he's actually in jail in Santa Rosa County. So there's a waiver of appearance on file. I would ask for a continuance to the next pretrial.
So he agrees to the continuance?
Wakanda is a federal case as well. I don't know what the state's gonna do with the case here. I will leave it for docket day, but I'm in trial docket day. Or if we can leave it for the 21st for miscellaneous for status, I can see what the state's gonna do with it on that day. I just have trial on the 18th and 19th in Crestview.
I'm just worried about today. Does your client?
Yeah, he's aware that if it's not resolved, I'm gonna continue it. I don't have a resolution today.
Okay.
Because he's
and
not
he-
present. He's not in our county jail, he's
Gotcha.
somewhere else.
Okay. It's continued.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor, that's all I have. What time this afternoon are the inmates?
1:30 is what is on the docket.
Is that for Dion Wingate or?
Deontay, yes. The other Wingate will appear via Zoom this afternoon.
Okay, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Judge.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. Brandon Morris for Daniel Solis, case number 2024 CF 426. Judge, I recently received a significant amount of discovery in Mr. Solis's case, which I have not had an opportunity to fully review, so we'll be asking for a continuance.
There's no objection.
Okay, it's continued.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Mr. Morris.
January
So
13th?
it's January 13th.
Very good. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Mr. Catalano?
Hi, Judge.
Hello.
Judge, I have one case on the docket today. It's Mr. Andre Seth Olivas. Olivas, Your Honor, for the
Yes,
record,
sir.
24 CF 2069. We need a continuance, Your Honor. It's the first time up on this case. He was arraigned on October 10th.
Okay, any objection from the state?
No objection.
Thank you, it's continued.
That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lopello? Good morning, sir.
I have 3 cases on the docket this morning. The first is Cameron McAllister. He's not present, does have a waiver. We'd like to leave this one set for docket day for a plea.
Okay.
And then the next matter I have, and then docket day is what day?
Is Monday, the 19th.
Monday the 19th?
The
okay.
18th, I'm sorry. 18th.
Very good. The next matter I have is David Roberts. Defense is requesting a continuance on this case. We've got a little bit more work to do. We anticipate it's the last continuance, though.
Okay, yes, sir, it's continued.
Thank you. And the last matter I have is Laura Thalman. Again, she's not present, does have a waiver. We'd like to set this one for the docket day. We anticipate a deal. It's probably going to be a plea in absentia.
Okay, so plea continued?
That's very good, yes?
Yes, sir.
And that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr.
Good day.
Lopello. Okay, who's next? Yes, ma'am.
Morning, Regina Fellingham here on Francisco Rosario.
Okay, and I'm sorry, your last name is?
Fellingham?
Thank you,
No,
ma'am.
sorry,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't- my mouth's a little numb. I just came from the dentist. I
Yes,
apologize.
ma'am. Thanks, Ms. Fellingham.
Your Honor, there's some more discovery that's outstanding. I spoke to the states. I'm going to ask for a second continuance on this. Should be a last one.
Good.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Fillingham, it's continued until January 13th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Nopes?
Judge, I've got, I'm gonna ask about a case for Ryan Hardy first, or I don't know that it's under his name, but he called me this morning and texted me. It's 24 CF 1667, and it's Armando Alex Romero, and the last name is Orellana.
Okay, don't have Hardy, at least that I show. But what's the case number and who's the attorney?
Can you repeat that case number?
I'm sorry?
Case number?
Sure, 24 CF 1667.
I show their, wow. It is not on the docket, but it should.
Okay, and who represents?
Mr. Harding.
Good, okay.
Well, it looks like Ryan did get it filed. He was telling me we're filing it, and that's pretty
Okay.
quick, because
So what are you seeking to do on that case?
he just got retained, and he just wants to get a continuance.
Okay, it's continued until January 13th.
January 13th?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, the first case I've got is Harley Faison, Faison, 24 CF 2051. Judge, we've got deposition set for December 10th, and we're asking for a continuance.
Okay, yes, sir, it's continued.
And then I've got, Susan McFarland. Judge, I was just appointed, her case is 24 CF 1857.
Ms. McFarland? Please, come on up.
Judge, I was just appointed on October 16th, and we're asking to continue this.
Okay. Have you met with Ms. McFarland before?
Last Thursday.
Good, okay.
Yes,
Ms.
she came
McFarland.
from Office in Crestview, Judge.
Excellent. Do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
The court will see you back here on January 13th, okay? Stay in touch with Mr.
9
Noakes.
o'clock in the
9
morning.
o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge, the next case I've got is Paul McKinney. Judge, I was appointed September 12th. but
Hello, Mr. McKinney.
This morning when I was,
Morning.
this morning when I was looking over the file, seeing how the clerk's website was down all weekend.
It was.
I've not got discovery yet, and so I need discovery. They may have sent it to the previous lawyer, but I haven't gotten it.
Okay.
So I'd ask to continue it.
Mr. McKinney, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir. Is there any way I can speak freely to you? It might come off.
Everything's being recorded.
That
and the
doesn't bother
state
me.
sitting behind you,
That
so-
doesn't bother me. I
It can be
absolutely like to
used
say sorry
against-
to them. You have no idea.
Okay?
There's a
Yeah.
lot going on.
As
Well,
long as you
I think
realize
it's in
that.
your best interest, okay?
You're not me and I'm not you, but I respectfully respect that.
Well, I'm just saying, I can't pretend, I don't know what you're gonna say. And you said you wanna say you're sorry and you really
Well,
wanna talk
no,
about
that's
it. and
just
I'm
'cause I
like,
don't-
oh, no, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
back up.
that's what I'm saying. I don't want it all to look foolish, but I need help speaking to 4 other people and you safely.
That's why you're going to set that appointment with me, and we're gonna talk, and we'll go from there, and then we'll decide what we're gonna say in the future.
He can't really get Christopher Ray to show up, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's like that, sir.
That's the alleged victim?
No, that's the director of the FBI.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
Again,
We'll just continue it. What date, sir? I
Okay.
apologize.
The court will see you back here on January 13th. Talk to Mr. Nopes. If there is a motion that he needs to file.
Everybody keeps
he'll file.
passing me off because I wish I could apologize to them because they don't understand what's going on. So it's hard to talk to people and they're like, shh.
Understand.
You know what I mean?
Sir.
I trust you.
I'm not planning on passing you off, but if you won't listen, we're probably gonna have a problem down the road. So let's just
I doubt it.
come see me, okay? And we'll go from there. Is that fair enough?
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Mr. McKinney.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Joe Petit, Your Honor. Mr. Petit was present, or there he is. Judge, I'd like to leave this set for Monday. I expect that it's going to be a plea. The state and I agreed that the court can decide the adjudication of guilt. There's a problem with the driver's license, but I don't want to talk about it today because I know you got a lot of people. If we just see you on Monday, I think we can get it resolved.
So I had said trial next time, so is it going to be plea trial?
Judge, you can say plea trial. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a plea.
So to the state, it matters which way I say it. Do you want me to just put plea?
Yeah, just plea. I think we have the terms of the agreement.
Okay.
Finalized.
So, Mr. Petit, I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And then I've got Christopher Russell. Mr. Russell's present, Judge. Judge, I've got deposition scheduled for December 10th.
Okay.
And I'd ask for continuance.
Mr. Russell, do you understand what Mr. Nopes is doing on your case?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree to the continuance? I'll see you back here, or at least the court will, on January 13th. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, I've also got Rico Williams on the docket under
Yes,
my
sir.
name, but.
He's an inmate.
Okay. I was just going to tell you that we submitted an order for you to sign naming Jason Cobb.
Okay.
Because he's got his other cases, but I'll bring it up this afternoon.
Okay, and my queue was empty when I left on Friday. There wasn't anything that was pending.
We
So-
sent it this morning because we realized that we
Gotcha.
submitted the motion, but we didn't submit an order,
I-
and so,
I will look at everything over lunch that I've got.
okay.
Okay,
All right, and then I'll see you at 1:30 on Zoom.
okay,
Thank you, Judge.
okay, thank you. Teresa, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then we'll take your cases next, okay? So we're in recess for 10 minutes. Thank you. trial next time, so what's going on with that?
That's up to the state judge. I think they're trying to make a downward departure offer for youthful offender, and they've got to get a hold of the victims and discuss that, the victim's parents or family or what have you.
Okay, and who's the state attorney?
Hey, Judge, go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Lovett, let's wait a second and see if the state comes back in, okay? Okay. And we lost the interpreter?
She's reading a plea agreement, Your Honor.
Good, okay. Thank
Judge,
you.
I see, on another note, I see that Assistant State Attorney Gillespie's on Zoom.
Okay.
He's probably here on the,
Jesse Lacoste.
Lacoste. This is the guy that's been locked up in Escambia County for the same type charges. And the state's got a number of cases against him across the circuit. I think, and Mr. Gillespie, I think the plan is that once y'all get an agreement, you're gonna try to include this at a global offer and get it resolved.
Right now, it's scheduled for trial with one of his other cases come, I believe, February with Judge Simon in Escambia. I think that once a couple of those are tried, if not the larger case, he's looking at significant time, whether he enters agreement or not. But that's where our plan is right now. So I have no objection to a continuance, Mr. Nopes.
Do you want to continue Lacoste's case 23 CF 312 2 cycles until March?
Yes, sir.
No objection, Judge.
Okay, so it's continued until March 10th at 9 o'clock. Okay, good. Thank you, sir.
I do have one more matter, but I'll let Mr. Nopes finish, I guess.
Okay. On Mr. Levitt?
Yeah, sorry, Judge, I was speaking with a victim in a manslaughter case.
I said it for Monday because last time you were talking with the victim about.
Yes.
And I've got it down for trial this cycle.
Can we set it Monday for clear continue, because we're gonna be giving an offer that's pretty substantial. It's gonna include probably YO, and it's gonna be our best offer. And then give Mr. Lovett some time to think about it.
So youthful offender without any incarcerative time?
No, this is gonna be incarcerative time, which is why I kinda wanna give him some time to think about it, but it's gonna be the best offer that we're gonna be able to make. We need to make sure that we've had a hard time finding one of the victims, and with this particular case, I wanna be able to run that by the victim's family before I formally offer that.
Okay.
Not the victim's family, no.
Okay, Mr. Lovett, I'll see you back here a week from today. I'm putting it down as plea continue.
Yes, sir.
So hopefully we'll resolve it on Monday. If not, then they'll be setting it for a trial, but not this cycle, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Mr. Lovett.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mr. Phelps. Still no Teresa, so any other private counsel? Any private counsel on Zoom? Yes, sir. Mr. Dees?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Ethan Rasco. There's a waiver of appearance in the court file. He is a PTI revocation. He's going to be coming back for sentencing. He was rearrested in Escambia County. Do you have anything in early December that you could set Mr. Rasco's case for sentencing for?
Sure. We've got December 9th, 12th, 16th.
Let's see what we have there. I think December 12th works great.
Okay, so December 12th at 2:30.
That works great, Judge. Thank you very
The
much.
state, Mr. Snell says he's not going to be.
I'll be out of town on that day.
Oh,
Okay. What about December 16th?
Is that a Monday or a Tuesday? It's a Monday, right?
Or December 19th?
The 19th would be good.
What about December 19th, Mr. Dees?
As long as it's in the morning, I'm available. I have another sentencing in Santa Rosa County that afternoon.
How long is it gonna take for the sentencing? Our sentencing?
Your sentencing probably a half an hour. What about the December 9th date? Was he available then?
Mr. Snow?
I've actually got another sentencing that date as well. Well, that's the 6th. Yeah, December 9th, I have another sentencing as well. So either way, it's gonna be before or after a sentencing in Santa Rosa County on either one of those dates.
Okay, why don't we do December 19th at 9 o'clock?
That will work perfectly.
Okay. Mr. Dees, you're
Thank you,
just gonna
Joe.
have to remind me of when you need to get out of here, okay?
No worries. December 9th at 9, I think we'll have plenty of time for me to get to Santa Rosa in the afternoon, so I will not be in a hurry.
Okay, so you want to do it December 9th, not the 19th?
I mean, sorry, on the 19th, I won't be in a hurry. You said the 19th, I meant the 19th at 9 o'clock. That will not jam me up.
Okay, December 19th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Okay, any other private counsel? Mr. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor, good morning. I have Blake Martin.
Okay. Do you have him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And, yes, sir, what are you seeking?
Your Honor, we're seeking a 2-cycle continuance. We previously had a hearing on a motion to dismiss and the state's second motion for reconsideration scheduled in October. The state needed to continue it due to unavailability, of a witness. I did not oppose the continuance, and we're in the process of getting it rescheduled. I asked Ms. Bergman if she thought 1 cycle or 2 cycles was appropriate with the holidays, and she felt 2, and I really tend to agree.
Ms. Bergman?
That's correct, Judge. I believe because we need to have states that are gonna have to travel here for our hearing, we would request a 2-cycle continuance.
Okay, so you want it in the afternoon on March 10th, or is it the morning?
I believe it would be morning on March 10th because Judge Stone's gonna have 2 different dates between inmates and non-inmates.
Okay, so March 10th at 9 o'clock.
And Mr. Davis, I will get with my witness and provide you a list of dates once I've spoken with him.
Sounds good, thank you. Your Honor, I have a question for the court, if I may. The state's motion is a motion for essentially reconsideration of a prior reconsideration of a in-camera review that was conducted by Your Honor, and I heard you say you're going to another division in January.
Correct.
If we don't get that scheduled before you in December, should we still schedule that in front of you since it was your ruling?
I think you're gonna have a tough time doing that. Can I hear that before the end of the year?
I would think so. If I may appear by Zoom, it would be easier to schedule.
Certainly.
That's just legal argument. Yeah, I'm sure we can make that happen.
And Judge, I would just ask, given that Ms. Basso is involved in this case, all parties are CC'd to make sure everybody's available before we set that date.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good question,
All right.
Mr. Davis. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, Your Honor. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Mr. Gillespie, you said that you had one other case?
That's correct, Judge. I have one with Public Defender Scott Klein's. It's Scott Neal.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is, Mr. Neal was on earlier on Zoom. I talked to him this morning.
I'm here.
Good.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Thanks, Mr. Neal.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
So, Your Honor, we are still waiting to take the deposition of one remaining witness. When I talked to Mr. Neal this morning, he mentioned that he has witnesses that he wants me to list. I told him I need that contact information as quick as possible. I don't know what the court's position is on this. I mean, these are 2 first-degree felonies.
I am not going to be available the first trial week of this coming cycle, so that would leave the second trial week. I did talk with Mr. Neal. I do believe that this is going to be a jury trial. So I don't know if the court wants to leave it on the jury docket or if the court wants to continue this to January. I did stress to Mr. Neal, I need that contact information as quick as possible if I'm going to be listing defense witnesses.
And didn't we talk about that a couple of months ago?
I don't recall. We've talked about so much stuff with this particular
We
case.
did, you're right. Mr. Gillespie, what do you want to do? Do you want to try it the week of December 2nd, or do you want to continue it?
Judge, I have no problem with a continuance this one time. This is another one that we've talked about. I've been trying to keep it on the path to resolution, perhaps doing a scheduling order. I need to get those. If he's going to list witnesses, defense witnesses, I may have to depose some of those. And I'm available for depositions theoretically this month if something gets scheduled. But I have no objection to a continuance on this matter.
What if we set it for plea continue, and can I require the defendant to provide those names by next Monday?
Mr. Neal, do you think you could give me some, you don't even have to talk to him. You can just give me the contact information. I just need
That
to
is,
have some.
yes, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Not a problem.
If, Your Honor, if I file let's say, for example, I have that and I file a reciprocal discovery on Friday, can I waive his appearance on Monday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct. So, Mr.
That's
Neal,
perfect, Judge.
I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock, unless Mr. Klein says that you don't have to be here, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll need to provide him with more than the name, some contact information, some substantive information about them, so he can convey what he needs to the state.
It will be done, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Scott, you can go ahead and email. I know you have my email address, so whatever you have, just.
I do.
It's open 24 hours a day, so.
Okay.
We'll do it. You'll have it in the next day or two.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gillespie.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge, for letting me appear via Zoom.
Yes, sir, thank you. Teresa, who are we hearing next?
I'm here to assist Mr. Koch with Perez, Madrid, Kaiser.
Madam Clerk, if you'll swear in the interpreter.
Well, Your Honor,
Wait, hold on one second.
Do you agree to accurately translate from Spanish and English and from English and Spanish all matters brought
I do.
Your Honor, at this time, the state, based on the FTLE report coming back, no controlled substances, are going to be dismissing 24 CF 479 and 24 CF 478, Your Honor.
Okay. Those two cases against you are dismissed. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Blanchard, you ready? Yep. Next, Your Honor, I would like to call Moreno Hernandez Gonzalo, represented by Mr. Klein.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Moreno Hernandez. I did discuss the matter with Mr. Moreno Hernandez. He has elected to accept the state's offer. At this time, he will enter a no contest plea as charged. The agreed upon disposition on count 1 is that Mr. Moreno Hernandez will be placed on 1 year of probation. He will have to perform 24 hours of community service, submit to a substance abuse evaluation and any recommended follow-up treatment. He would be assessed $610 in court costs, $150 in public defender fees. Count 2 is a second-degree misdemeanor. Mr. Moreno Hernandez would be adjudicated of that count 2, and be sentenced to time served. I did not write this on the plea agreement, but I talked with Mr. Gomez. The state would agree on count 1 that probation would automatically terminate at 6 months if Mr. Moreno Hernandez completes all the special conditions.
And the adjudication on count 1 is what?
As a withhold. Now, I have talked with Mr. Moreno Hernandez about his immigration status. I have advised him to speak to an immigration attorney. He is elected to accept the state's offer. I have made it clear that he should expect to be deported based on this plea, but he would like to accept it and take his chances with the federal government.
are terms of the plea agreement random urinalysis?
Yes, I did explain that too. He did specifically ask what went into probation. I did explain random drug tests, monthly reporting in person, the community service aspect, and the substance abuse.
Okay.
May I approach?
Yes,
And
sir.
and I did have the plea agreement read to him in its entirety in Spanish.
Excellent. Thank you.
You got the score sheet too?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Moreno Hernandez, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. So do you understand the terms of the plea?
Yes.
Do you understand that if I accept your plea, that you're waiving your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Thank you. And that you will be sentenced in accordance with what Mr. Klein's just stated today on the record?
Yes.
For a period of time when I was first on the bench, I used to tell someone that possibly that was not a U.S. citizen, do you understand that entering this plea may subject you to deportation? But after I did that for several years, an appellate case came out that said, I'm supposed to tell you that this shall subject you to deportation. I am not a federal judge. I'm not in charge of deportation. But do you understand that the entering of this plea shall subject you to deportation?
Yes, I understand.
Do you still wish to enter the plea?
Yes.
Mr. Moreno Hernandez, I do accept your plea. Adjudication is withheld on count 1. You're sentenced to 1 year probation. However, your supervision will automatically terminate at the 6-month mark if you've successfully completed all the terms of your supervision at that time. You'll need to perform 24 hours of community service work, submit to a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days. If any treatment's recommended, begin that within 60 days from today. You need to pay the court cost, $150 public defender's fee, $40 per month cost of supervision, and submit to random urinalysis. On count 2, you're adjudicated guilty of the misdemeanor, and you're sentenced to time served. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
It's a withhold. Is it a withhold? It's a withhold, right?
Adjudication on a driving or license.
Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, when you're done with that.
I believe that's all I have in the audience, Your Honor.
I need to, can we call Martin Sanchez?
Martin Sanchez Marvin.
Yeah. Your Honor, I've had no contact with Mr. Martin Sanchez, 24 CF 957.
Okay. What does the state seek?
KP, Your Honor.
Capias is issued, and the first appearance judge will determine the bond. Thank you, Teresa. So I'll see you around 1:30?
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Nettle?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
I'm here on the Elijah White case. Mr. White's still in Palm Beach County Jail. He has court there tomorrow, so the plea, some type of plea hearing. I'm hoping that they'll take care of his case tomorrow and he'll be on his way back, but I can't promise the court anything.
Okay. So do we want to set it for plea continue, where if he does come back, I'll see him on Monday, or do you want to
He
continue
won't be
it?
back by Monday, Judge.
Okay. So we'll continue it until January 13th.
1:13?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
And if he does get back and the prosecutor and I are able to work out an agreement, we will bring him before the court before that.
Good. That'd be great. Thank you, sir. Okay, I don't see any other private counsel, the pro se. So, to the defendants that aren't represented by an attorney, is John Midget here? Mr. Midget, please, if you come to the lectern, 22 CF 2571. I had a handwritten note that said PTI to be reinstated, question mark.
So, Your Honor, to Mr. Detroit, he actually sent an email back in October expressing some challenges with paying and requesting if he could pay off the restitution with community service work. Unfortunately, with it not being court costs, you can't do that. You can pay off court costs and fines and stuff like that with community service work, but with it being a restitution amount, that's not possible. So I would be okay with giving you 6 months to try to come up with the money to pay. And if you pay it by then and you come in, I'll dismiss the case. That's kind of going to be the best offer that I can do right now.
Yes, sir. That sounds great. Thank you so much.
Okay, you have a date for not incarcerated about May?
Would you like it on a miscellaneous or next pretrial conference?
Miscellaneous might be better, Your Honor, just so that we're not.
Well, I'm scared if you do it, then that it may, if y'all don't resolve it, it'll fall off the radar totally.
Okay, so we want to put it on a pretrial.
I would do
That'll be May 12th.
May 12th, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you need to be back here May 12th at 9 o'clock if you haven't paid it off.
And once you do pay it off, just send me an email that says it's paid off, and I'll verify, and then I'll dismiss it so that you don't have to come to that court date.
Understood. Thank you so much. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Next is Michael Murphy. Michael Murphy, 24 CF 1593. Hello, Mr. Murphy. Does the state have Mr. Murphy, do you want me to appoint a public defender if you qualify financially?
Oh, yes, if you could.
How much money do you average making per month?
Well, currently I'm in between jobs.
How much have you averaged making per month over the last 5 months?
Honestly, not very much.
How much do you think?
Maybe about, maybe around 900, 800.
Okay. I do appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Kleins is coming from your left.
I need you to write down a phone number you can reach you. Mr. Gomez, what's the state's offer in this case?
As of right now, it's a DOC offer with significant amount of restitution.
Your Honor, given the fact that Mr. Murphy is looking at a potential prison sentence here with a, quote, significant amount of restitution, I would ask the court to continue this to the January docket so that I can get the file put together. I just don't expect there to be a disposition here in 6 days.
Yes, sir. Mr. Murphy, you'll need to be back here on January 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Kleins.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, you said to speak up. My name is Brandon Bitchcon, and I'm represented by Mr. McKinney.
Okay, if you'll hold on, I'm going to get through the pro se's, and then I'll go through with the attorneys, and then they'll call the names. So hang in there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Jessica Musselwhite, 24 CF 1665. Hello, Ms. Musselwhite. Ms. Musselwhite, do you wish for me to appoint the public defender if you qualify financially?
No, Your Honor, I would just like to ask the court for a little more time to secure a private attorney, please.
Okay. When were you were arrested in July?
Yes, sir.
Why haven't you been able to obtain somebody between July and now?
I've had difficult with my living situations. Currently, I'm having to relocate again and just being displaced and having to find new living arrangements.
Okay, and you don't want the public defender to represent you in the interim?
No, sir, I do have an attorney in mind. I've just not been able to secure the deposit that she needs to take my case immediately.
And you certainly have the right to be represented by who you want to be. But the court also is mandated by the rules of judicial administration to take control of the docket and move cases forward.
Yes, sir.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue your underlying case but I'm going to set your case for a status conference on November 21st at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
You need to have counsel by November 21st, okay?
Yes, sir.
They need to appear for you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Your Honor.
so 9 o'clock, November 21st.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Terry Price is next, 24 CF 1926. Hello, Mr. Price. Okay, got it. Thank you. Mr. Price, do you wish for me to appoint the public defender if you qualify financially?
Oh, no, sir. I just found an attorney. I was just coming to get a continuance, but I just sit down with her and we go over
Okay.
what's going to happen.
Do you have an attorney is that attorney going to represent you in your misdemeanor case? The other case that you've got pending?
No, sir. That case is actually ending. It's just, they're waiting on this case to be done for that case to be over.
Okay, well, they've got basically a warrant for you in that case for not showing up. So that's why I'm trying to make sure you've got an attorney. Once you go into the jail, that attorney will be able to talk to you and get up to
Oh, but
speed.
I have a public defender for that case.
Okay, good. Okay. So you don't want me to appoint a public defender for this case?
No, sir.
Okay. And you want me to continue at one cycle?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, I'm continuing this case until January 13th. They'll take you into custody on your misdemeanor, and your public defender will represent you in that case. Okay, thank you.
24 CF 1848, is that the case number that you're continuing?
This is Mr. Price, correct?
Oh, I thought you said Rice, I'm sorry.
No, 24 CF 1926. Thank you. Albert Rice is next, 24 CF 1848. Hello, Mr. Rice. Mr. Rice, do you want a public defender if you qualify financially?
Yes, sir.
How much money do you make per month?
Maybe 2,500, $3,000, maybe.
Okay, you may not qualify. You'll need to fill out a financial affidavit. What I would suggest, since you're so close to the line, Mr. Rice, is put in there what your expenses and things are, because if the clerk says you don't qualify financially, you can appeal it to the judge, and we have more latitude than they do, okay?
Thank you.
So I'm not appointing the public defender at this time. If you're not appointed the public defender, then you'll need to hire a private attorney or you'll be representing yourself.
Yes, sir.
You'll need to be back here on January 13th at 9 o'clock. If you'll go down to the clerk's office and get a financial affidavit and fill that out and turn it into the clerk, okay? Thank you. Alexis Richardson is next. Alexis LaShawn Richardson, 24 CF 1276. I don't see Mr. Richardson. A capias is issued for Mr. Richardson, and the first appearance judge will determine the bond. Next, we've got Armando Romero Aurelia. It's Orellana, 24 CF 1667.
I feel like we already did this.
We did that, didn't we, prior, Ken?
Yes, let me,
We've got prior filed financial affidavit. Oh, okay, that was from, he was seeking an attorney at $750, but it doesn't say how frequent. So I can't appoint an attorney to represent him, but a capias will be issued and the first appearance judge.
I believe this is the case that had Mr. Hardy.
Mr. Hardy?
So it was on the docket, it was just under.
Okay, so we've already done it. Great, thank you.
Mr. Hardy represents 141 Romero Orellana.
Yes, sir, so I'm not issuing a capias for
And
that.
that case would be set for when?
Don't quite remember.
I'm sorry.
No, we'd
I
already
didn't
come.
hear that earlier, I guess.
Good.
it was probably 113, because he had, I believe, Mr. Notes. I can look it up.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Next is Sean Taylor. Hello, Mr. Taylor. Case number 24 CF 1792. Mr. Taylor, do you wish for me to appoint the public defender if you qualify financially?
Yes.
How much money do you make per month?
About like $2,000.
Okay, I do appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Kleins is approaching on your left.
Mr. Snell, is there an offer for Mr. Taylor?
In adjudication, 3 years of probation, restitution, no trespass at the victim's residence, no contact with the victim, substance abuse evaluation and treatment, no drugs or alcohol during probation, maintain employment, 3 apps a week when you're on unemployment, there'd be random urine analysis and breath testing.
Your Honor, does not appear that Mr. Taylor is going to be accepting that offer. Probably not next week either. I don't see the point of putting this on for next Monday. So if we could just ask for a one-cycle continuance from Mr.
Okay.
Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, you'll need to be back here January 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Kleins.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, Mr. McKinney. Okay, so here's your court date. All right. Call him.
Marcus Thompson is next. Marcus Lee Thompson.
I believe he asked Mr. McKinney.
That's correct, Judge. He's
Good.
an inmate, and I represent Mr.
Got you. Good, thank you. Andre Hardaway.
That's Ms. Jaquette.
Okay. Good, thank you. Okay, that was all the pro se's I have. To the public defender, if you want to call your cases, folks in the gallery and folks on Zoom.
First, I have Teddy Lanu. Teddy Lanu. Your Honor, I've had no contact with Mr. Lanu.
Okay, cabias is issued for Mr. Lanu.
Can I call the manager? Judge, may I handle Mr. Brandon Vitchcom?
Certainly, yes, sir.
Mr. Vitchcom is on Zoom. Mr. Vitchcom, can you hear us?
I'll ask him to unmute his microphone and start his video. Mr. Vitchcom, there you go. Good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Judge, Mr. Vitchcom has been handling court in Colorado and with us. And at this point in time, Mr. Vitchcom, could I recall your case in just a minute and have you pull over?
Yes, sir. I'll pull over right now.
Yeah, I don't want you to get into an accident.
Yes, sir. I am pulled over now.
Okay, Judge, this is Mr. Brandon Vitchcom, 24 CF 2144. As stated, he's in Colorado, and he's been handling a case in Colorado in court today as well. The state's offer, Mr. Vitchcom, if you were to accept it, is a reduction to a misdemeanor, like we had discussed on the phone. That reduction to a misdemeanor would be to a misdemeanor felony petty theft. The best offer from the state would be an adjudication of guilt on the misdemeanor and to be placed on 6 months of misdemeanor probation. That would include a $91.60 restitution amount, 24 hours of community service work, which you would likely be eligible to buy out at the statutory rate, and an anti-theft course. Did you hear me okay in listening to those terms?
Yes.
Okay. We could move forward if you chose to today in accepting that agreement with the state, which would be a reduction to a misdemeanor from the felony. And then you would need to contact JCS, which is misdemeanor probation here, to discuss with them reporting instructions. Do you understand the terms of the agreement?
I don't understand how probation works and reporting works from another state.
Mr. McKinney, do you want to do plea continue and come back Monday?
I've emailed the probation office here to see if they would allow you to do mail-in or call-in instruction. Mr. Vichcon, can we set this on Monday for plea or continue? That way I can get that answer for you from probation here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, Mr. Vichcon,
Appreciate
I'll
it.
see you via Zoom at 9 o'clock on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, who's next?
Bye.
Your Honor, next I have Shane Laws, to be followed by Jermaine Lee. Mr. Laws is present and approaching, Your Honor. We have reached an agreement to resolve Mr. Laws' case. At this time, Mr. Laws will be entering a no contest plea as charged on counts 2 and 3. Count 1 will be null crossed. The agreed upon disposition on those 2 second-degree misdemeanors is that Mr. Laws be sentenced to time served. He would be assessed misdemeanor court costs, $150 in public defender fees, and he would be adjudicated of the misdemeanors. May I approach?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And just for your knowledge, Your Honor, the reason why we're null crossing count 1 is that Mr. Laws actually came in with his approved valid driver's license, so just wanted to commend him on that.
Good, thank you. Mr. Laws, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. Laws, did you read the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand it?
Correct.
Did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Laws, I do accept your plea. Count 1 is dismissed. You're adjudicated guilty of the lesser included offenses, the misdemeanors in counts 2 and 3. You're sentenced to credit for time served. You'll need to pay the court cost, $150 public defender's fee. How long will you need to pay that?
I can either go down there right now, I'll be 30, or
Why don't we do 30 days, okay?
30 days? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
That's it. That's it. Next, I have Jermaine Lee, followed by Brian Martinez. Your Honor, Mr. Lee is present and approaching.
Yes, sir.
This court's already issued an order revoking Mr. Lee's bond. To his credit, he is here, and I do believe he knew that this order was issued, although I have not talked to him since it's been issued. I have already filed a motion to reinstate the bond. We did have an attempted round of depositions in October. The alleged victim and another civilian witness and one officer did not show up. Motions for orders to show cause have already been filed on those. So if the court would allow me to keep Mr. Lee's cases on for next Monday so we could have the bond here, the motion to reinstate bond, or if the court wants me to put that for this Thursday, I'll defer to the court. I know the Thursday docket this week is pretty stuffed.
So to the state, first off, have you looked at the motion to reinstate bond? Do you stipulate to it, or do we need to have a hearing? Okay. Mr. Klein, do you want to step over and tell the state?
Your Honor, at this time, the state's going to stipulate to that bond being
Okay.
reinstated with the same conditions, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Lee, so I withdraw the order revoking bond, and your current bond is reinstated, okay?
Then if that's the case, Your Honor, I would ask the court to continue this to the January docket, and we will notice those motions for orders to show cause for sometime in December.
Okay. Mr. Lee, it means a lot to the court that you're here. You dressed up, you're wearing a tie, but you're here with your head up, didn't bury your head in the sand, and that's why it worked for you. So you'll need to be back here on January 13th at 9 o'clock, unless Mr. Klein sets a motion hearing before that date.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. Next, I have Brian Martinez, to be followed on Zoom by Tyson Aston.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Mr. Martinez, Your Honor. We have reached an agreement to resolve this case. Oh. The agreement that Mr. Martinez is reaching with the state is that he's going to enter a no contest plea. Today is 11/12/24. He's going to enter a no contest plea as charged. The agreed upon disposition is that Mr. Martinez is going to be placed on 1 year of probation. He will perform 24 hours of community service as a condition of probation, submit to a substance abuse evaluation, and any recommended follow-up treatment. If he completes all the special terms of condition or probation, his probation will automatically early terminate at 6 months. If all those conditions are met, he would be assessed $610 in court costs, a $50 application fee, a $100 public defender fee, and there would be a withhold of adjudication.
And then you'd have to pay the $40 per month cost of
Yes,
supervision.
sir.
Good. Yes, sir.
Score sheet, Scott? Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Martinez, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. Martinez, did you read the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you discuss it with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martinez, I do accept your plea. Adjudication is withheld. You're sentenced to 1 year of probation. However, your supervision will automatically terminate at the 6-month mark. If you've successfully completed all the terms of your supervision at that time, you'll need to perform 24 hours of community service work, submit to a substance abuse evaluation. If any treatment's recommended, submit to the evaluation within 30 days from today. If any treatment's recommended, begin that within 60 days from today. You'll need to pay the court costs, $150 public defender's fee, and the $40 per month cost of supervision. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, next on Zoom, I have Kaisi Maston.
Yeah, I'm here.
Your Honor, that's Mr. Maston. I did talk with Ms. Barrickman with the state. This particular situation involves multiple out-of-state witnesses needing to travel. From my perspective, the case is ready for trial, but I don't have to make those travel arrangements. Plus, we have Christmas coming up. So I'll defer to the state, how the state wants to handle this. But as far as I can tell, the case is ready to go to trial.
To the state.
Judge, I think we'll be ready to go after Christmas. We just need to coordinate that travel, and I know we don't have that entire second week. So I think we'd be fine with one more continuance, and then we'll be ready to go in January.
Okay, we've got the entire, December 2nd, we have the entire week, right? When you said we don't have the entire week?
I think she meant the entire
I
first week.
think isn't one of the weeks Thanksgiving week?
The first one
The first
is
week.
December
I just meant that we
2nd.
don't have
Yes.
the entire trial weeks.
Right, I agree. And you think other things are going to trial this cycle?
I believe so.
Okay.
At least I'm one on my end, but I
mean,
don't
I
know
have-
about the other attorneys.
I have at least 2 inmates that I would be pushing hard to get to trial. They've been in custody a long
I
time.
know
Okay.
you and I are gonna set one plea trial, so.
Okay, then it's continued one cycle.
Mr. Maston, I'm going to need you, is Zoom still on?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to
Okay.
call my office and make an appointment because I do expect you to be in front of a jury in the month of January 2025, and these are very serious charges.
Yeah. I'll call earlier this week.
Yep, please call today if you can and make an appointment because I'm already booking out close to Christmas, so.
So, Mr. Maston,
Yeah.
you'll need to be present, at least via Zoom on January 13th at 9 o'clock, okay?
That's fine.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Next in the gallery, I have Jason McKendry, and that'll be followed by Roderick McKinnon. Mr. McKendry is present, Your Honor. He was actually evaluated for potential drug court placement, and we are expecting that to be the disposition of these cases.
Good.
So if we could ask to continue this to the January docket, obviously, and I've already advised Mr. McKendry, if he goes into drug court, it would come off of the January docket.
Right, good. Mr. McKendry, drug court has so many different tools that I don't have, and so I hope you get into there.
Yes, sir.
If you don't get into drug court, then I'll see you back here, or at least the court will, on January 13th, okay? Thank you, sir. FSU, tough year.
Yeah.
Why you gotta say that, Judge?
Well, I'm a Gator hater from way back, so.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Roderick McKinnon. We actually have some depositions scheduled. There's actually 2 FDLE agents, or FDLE analysts in this case. Their depositions are already scheduled for December 18th. So I would ask the court for a one-cycle continuance so we can take those depositions.
Okay. Mr. McKinnon, do you agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Court will see you back here on January 13th.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I expect to see you in a meeting before then. All right? Please, and keep it. All right? All right. Next, I have Dennis McNabb, followed by Mikel Mercado.
Hello, Mr. McNabb. Good, how are you? Good.
Your Honor, we are working toward a disposition in these matters, but at this time, we would be announcing ready for trial in 24 CF 472. I know there is, it looks like a VOP in 21 CF 142.
That's correct, Your Honor. The state's going to want to set that DOP first.
Okay.
If we can do it on first available date in the December miscellaneous dates.
How bad does December 9th look, or do you want December 12th?
12th, I know, I would prefer not 12th. I have two pretty substantive hearings that are
Okay,
scheduled for the 12th.
so December 16th?
That's good with me, Your
I was gonna say, all of the dates in December are open.
Or, okay, do you want to do December 9th or December 16th?
16th, Your Honor, just to give us
Okay,
time.
December 16th, and that'll be at 1:30.
Okay, that's not a Thursday, is it?
No, it's.
Okay, I just want to make sure we weren't running into the arraignment docket. At 1:30.
Would you like it at 1:30 or 2 o'clock?
1:30.
It's at 1:30,
Or,
right?
I'm sorry, I thought you were asking us. I'm sorry.
Well, it's December 16th, so we don't have arraignments, so it'd be at 1:30.
Okay, still working.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Next, I have Mikel Mercado, followed by Raheem Miller. And this is Ms. Mercado. Your Honor, if we could leave Ms. Mercado on for plea or continue for next week. We have proposed some things to the state to get this resolved in the next 6 days. I don't know what the state's position is going to be, but I don't want to just pass this down to January. I know Ms. Mercado wants this to be resolved 20 minutes ago, if possible.
Okay. Ms. Mercado,
That's fine, that's fine. We can just get them. Okay.
Ms. Mercado, I'll see you on Monday at 9, okay?
Next, I have Raheem Miller, followed by Tyler Miller. And this is Mr. Raheem Miller, Your Honor, in 23 CF 1598. I did talk to Mr. Miller. We have proposed a non-incarcerative resolution here. We have not heard back from the state, but the case is ready to be set for trial.
Okay? State,
Ready for trial, Your Honor.
okay. So then, Mr. Miller, I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock, and we'll be going to trial this cycle, either 2 days during November Thanksgiving or December 2nd. But I'll see you.
For the court's awareness, I think Mr. Klein's is
Yes,
available.
I'm not going to be
First week,
available
so-
the first trial week.
Okay.
So.
So I'll see you on Monday at 9.
I'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you this week. Okay, all right. Next, I have Tyler Miller, followed by Travion Miller. Tyler Miller.
Tyler Evan Miller, 24 CF 901. I don't see Mr. Miller. KPS will be issued for Mr. Miller.
Next on Zoom, Your Honor, I have Tyravion Miller.
Good. Mr. Miller, there you go.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Tyravion Miller, 23 CF 1977. We'll go ahead and announce plea or trial on this case.
Okay, to the state.
We're okay with that, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Miller, that means that I'll see you back here on Monday at 9 o'clock, and we'll be looking at going to trial the week of December 2nd.
Would the court be okay with Mr. Miller making a Zoom appearance next Monday? And if we go to jury review, then we'll have him here in person?
That would be great.
Okay.
So, Mr. Miller, you can appear on Monday via Zoom, but if it isn't resolved on Monday, then on November 21st, which is next week, next Thursday, you'll need to be here live, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
But I'll see you Monday via Zoom at 9 o'clock.
All right, see you Monday.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye-bye.
Akila Mitchell? Is there an Akila Mitchell on Zoom?
Akila Mitchell, I don't see anyone. a capias is issued for Ms. Mitchell.
Next, I have Paige Montgomery, followed by Chad Mott. And Ms. Montgomery, as she is approaching, Your Honor, I did talk with her and I talked with the state this morning. We are about a centimeter away from a mutual resolution here. If we could pass her to the end of this docket this morning, I think we can get this resolved. We just have one term.
So just pass it
Yes,
till
sir.
this afternoon?
Yes, sir. Well, we just pass her to the end of the morning docket, where
Okay.
however that falls.
Sure. Okay.
All right, take a seat. All right, I'll talk to you. Next, Your Honor, he was present this morning, but I had Chad Mott. The state made an offer to him. I went ahead and filed a waiver. I did talk to him several times. I talked to Mr. Gomez. If we could leave him on plea or continue for next Monday.
Okay, last time I said plea trial.
For Mr. Chad Mott?
Chad Mott,
I
please,
think you're
that's,
thinking about Mariah Mott.
Yeah, I think you, this is a July 2024 arrest.
I'll
Yeah.
trust you.
A little
Okay,
aggressive.
so we're doing plea continue on Chad Mott?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir.
Next on the docket, I have Leslie Moore. Your Honor, we kind of have news that Mr. Moore is dead. I don't know what the state's position is.
Hold on real quick, Your Honor, I think I may have some. Sorry, it's taking some time. Internet is slow for some reason. Yes, Your Honor, at this time, due to the victim of this case being deceased, we are going to announce dismissal of this case.
Okay, and what is that case number?
4619 CF 2253.
That case is dismissed.
Next, I have Joshua Nelson, to be followed by Richard Newcomer. And Mr. Nelson is present and approaching, Your Honor. We have reached an agreement to resolve Mr. Nelson's case. At this time, Mr. Nelson is going to be entering a no contest plea as charged. The agreed upon disposition is that he will be sentenced to credit for time served. He'd be assessed $615 in court costs, $150 in public defender fees, and I was just dating the plea form. I had not dated that on my side yet, so.
And the adjudication?
Adjudication is adjudicated.
Okay.
May I approach?
Yes, sir. So this is to a felony?
Yes, sir.
Has Mr. Nelson ever been adjudicated guilty as a felon?
He has.
Mr. Nelson, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Mr. Nelson, did you read the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nelson, I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty, $150 public defender's fee. How long will you need to pay that?
6 months.
Okay, yes, sir, you got it. Thank you, sir.
All right, that's it. I'm just gonna take your fingerprints real quick. All right, man. Next, I have Richard Newcomer, followed by He Win. And Mr. Newcomer is approaching, Your Honor. If we could leave Mr. Newcomer's case on plea or continue for next Monday, and I have advised him he could appear by Zoom since he's from Pensacola.
Okay.
But we are trying to work on a disposition here in the next several days.
Mr. Newcomer, I'll see you on Monday at 9.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man, I'll call you this week.
Okay.
All right. And I'll have my assistant email you that Zoom link, okay? Next, I have Mr. Nguyen. He is present and approaching, Your Honor. I did not get a chance to talk to him before court today. I did relay to him that what myself and Mr. Gomez had talked about. He wants a couple days to think about what the offer is. I will say this case is ready for plea trial, but I do expect this is probably going to be a plea next Monday.
Okay, so do you want plea continue or plea trial
Plea trial, I mean, this is a year-old case. It's
to this fate?
We're good with plea trial, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Nguyen, that means that I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock. If it's not resolved then I'll be seeking to set it for trial on December 2nd.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Let me call one of you guys. Last I have on the morning docket is Andrew Owsley. And Mr. Owsley is present and approaching, Your Honor, in 24 CF 1510. On top of Mr. Owsley, he does want me to depose the officer in this case to inquire as to the reason for the stop. So I would ask the court for one cycle continuance for Mr. Owsley.
Okay. Mr. Owsley, you'll need to be back here on January 13th.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. That's it. Okay, here, let me fill that out for you. Let me get out of Mr. McKinney's way. I'll bring it to you.
Yes, sir. Mr. McKinney?
Judge, may I call Eddie Tarver? Mr. Tarver is approaching in 24 CF 1394. The state has extended a PTI option for Mr. Tarver, so we'd like to set this for, I believe, the 21st as a control date only for us to receive the PTI documents and hopefully have everything completed by that time.
Okay.
This would be a PTI with a plea, which would result in a plea agreement for the court to accept, and I believe that the state would be in a position to be here in court on the 21st, which is the reason for asking for Your Honor's jury trial review date.
Okay. So, Mr. Tarver, I'll see you on November 21st at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. McKinney.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, I've got a lot of the paperwork. So we'll talk about ahead of time, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Judge Angel Taylor. Ms. Taylor is present before the court in 24 CF 1748. And Judge, in this case, I'm going to ask for this to be left on the docket plea or continue. We have done depositions in the matter. There would be a pending motion to dismiss if we're unable to resolve this case by Monday. So I believe that the state has an obligation to reach out to their victims through Marcy's Law. So I'd like to leave this on docket day plea or continue.
Ms. Taylor, how are you doing?
I'm good. I have autism. That's why I paid you.
So,
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Taylor. I'll see you back here on Monday, okay?
Monday.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, would it be in a position that we could waive her appearance on Monday if we're not going to be doing anything of substance?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Taylor, you don't have to be here Monday if Mr. McKinney tells you that you don't have to be here, okay? So just, yes, ma'am, if you'll stay in touch with Mr. McKinney.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Doris Terrell.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good, Mr. Terrell, how are you?
Mr. Terrell is here in 24 CF 1686, and we're going to be asking for a continuance to set depositions in this matter.
Okay. Mr. Terrell, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
The court will see you back here on January 13th.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sure thing. Robert Thompson. Mr. Thompson's present in the courtroom and approaching. This is 24 CF 1780. Mr. Thompson is going to request that we leave this on docket day plea or continue so that we can negotiate with the state. If we are not in a position to resolve this on Monday, then we would move forward with setting depositions. However, we're going to try to resolve this short of that.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, I'll see you back here on Monday at 9.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Alfredo Villa. Mr. Villa is present on Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Judge, this is 24 CF 262. This case has been continued several times. The facts of this case relate to a grand theft auto that took place out of Tallahassee. We're still trying to track down some witnesses in Tallahassee related to this case that we learned about through the deposition process. I'm going to be requesting a continuance today because we're not in a position to say that we're ready for trial.
Okay. Mr. Villa, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then the court will see you back here on January 13th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Kyle
That's it.
Vincent. You're free to go, Mr. Villa.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, Mr. Vincent is approaching 24 CF 2189. Judge, in this case, we set and then canceled a day's worth of depositions. I believe that there's going to be additional facts in this case that are going to be presented by the state. That's something I don't know about yet because it hasn't happened. So I'm going to be requesting a continuance so that we could reset the depositions and find out if the state's going to be amending the charges.
Okay. Mr. Vincent, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you'll need to be back here on January 13th at 9.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Make an appointment to continue. Okay. Danielle Waden.
Hello, Ms. Whedon.
Ms. Waden is here in 24 CF 2040, and we've reached an agreement with the state, which is a PTI with a plea. So how I would like to do this is enter the plea with Your Honor, which would be held obviously to PTI, and then she would go meet with the PTI individual, the PTI administrator, probation officer, and then come back with that signed document. So today, I believe we'd like to enter the plea in 24 CF 2040, and then she'll go to the probation office to complete the paperwork.
Okay, thank you. So what is the downside to Ms. Whedon by entering this plea agreement?
Judge, this is a PTI, which is 24 months. Does the court wish to have the PTI agreement?
No, sir, but, and I understand in addition to the PTI terms that I assume that Ms. Whedon's gone through,
Yes.
what's the downside from the trial perspective?
If she were to violate the terms of the PTI and be placed back on the docket, then she would be placed back on the docket for a sentencing, in which case the court at that time would have the opportunity to sentence Ms. Whedon as effectively a plea to the bench.
Okay.
And this is a third-degree felony.
Ms. Whedon, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Ms. Whedon, the reason why I asked that question is for your benefit. If you don't fulfill the terms, first off, do you understand what the terms of the pretrial intervention are?
Yes, sir.
If you don't fulfill those, then you come back before the court, and the effect of that is you've waived your right to a trial by jury. There won't be a trial. We'd go straight to sentencing. The court then would hear from the state, hear from you, and determine what the proper sentence would be, and it could be up to the maximum that's on your sheet, 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. So do you understand that you're waiving jury trial?
I understand.
Okay. Ms. Whedon, I do accept your plea, so I wish you luck at pretrial. If you successfully make it through that, what happens to this case?
It gets dismissed.
Right, so it's gone, so it's worth your time. So I wish you the best, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Judge, what I'd like to do is provide Ms. Whedon the document and the instructions to go to the probation office before setting the control date, if that's possible. Because if she can accomplish that and bring it back, we can handle everything today. Or we could set a control date.
Why don't we go ahead and set it for January 13th?
That's fine.
And then if
Judge.
she comes back, then we'll cancel that.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay, that's where you're going right there.
Okay.
And then just go, and then when you're done, all signature for that.
Thank you.
Lisa Walker. Ms. Walker is present and approaching, followed by Maurice Warren. Ms. Walker is back on the docket from a PTI in 23 CF 2470. She also has a new case, which is 24 CF 2108. For the court's benefit, there's also a pending misdemeanor that's not on this docket that has a court date in December. What I'd like to do is ask for a full continuance until January to see if we could reach terms for a global plea that might include that misdemeanor and have an additional time to talk it through with the state.
Okay. Ms. Walker, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes.
Then you'll need to be back here on January 13th at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Stay in touch with Mr. McKinney, okay?
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge, I have Maurice Warren. Mr. Warren is here in 24 CF 462. And the defense in this case has tried to subpoena the listed victim, who is the representative for Little Caesars, to determine the restitution amount twice at this point. And we've been unable to do so. That's really the linchpin in the case, to establish the restitution amount, to determine what the probation terms would be. So I'm going to ask that this be left on the docket, plea or continue. It's not ripe for trial, but the defense may lean on the state and may lean on the court to try to establish some contact information for the victim here, because I know that he exists and he's in the area. So if we could have Monday, plea or continue, to negotiate with the state and see if we can get some contact information if it's needed.
Okay. When you say rely on the court, I mean, I can't do an order to show cause because we don't have anything.
Correct. And that's the position the defense is in. I can't ask for an order to show cause because we've never gotten service.
Right.
But I could file a motion to compel additional information from the state. I know the state's very communicative in this issue, so we're going to try to work together to try to resolve this.
Okay. Mr. Warren, the court doesn't want your case lingering on either.
Yes, sir.
So I want some closure also. I'll see you Monday. Mr. McKinney's homework between now and then, in addition to trying to work out something with the state or get that information, is what are the options the court has with the hand that I'm dealt on Monday? Because I want to move the case forward and not just continue it.
Yes, sir. Mr. Warren wishes to move forward with the case as well, not towards trial. But I want to get some answers for him on if we can nail down some of the numbers.
Understand.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you Monday.
See you Monday. Shantisha White. Ms. White is on Zoom.
Good. Hello, Ms. White.
Followed by Jerice Williams.
Hello. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Mr.
ma'am.
McKinney.
Ms. White is here on Zoom in 24 CF 2191. And the holdup in Ms. White's case, I believe that this is the first time up. The alleged victim is currently in the Escambia County Jail with private counsel. So I've been unable to speak with that individual at this point. Ms. White, my intention in court today would be to ask for a continuance that would result in a January court date for you. And then we're going to try to get information from the alleged victim in Escambia.
Okay. I'm still, we have like a non-violent contact, but we have a contact with each other.
I understand that. So at this point, without further information to provide the state, then I'm going to need to continue it to see what his position is.
And also,
That's not something I want to talk about in court right now.
okay.
So, Ms. White, you'll need to be back in court on January 13th, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Jerice Williams is before the court. Mr. Williams is here in 24 CF 1687. Judge, he also has some violations of probation. What we'd like to do is continue the case to set depositions and ask for the January date. And we'd like all the cases to track together.
Okay. Mr. Williams, the court will see you back here on January 13th.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll let you know if I need you, all right? Okay. Christopher Warman. Mr. Warman is approaching, followed by Dylan Womack. Mr. Warman is here in 24 CF 1982. While we've been working in court, he's been speaking with Terry Henderson related to drug court. She's indicated that he's tentatively appropriate for that program.
Good.
I'm going to be requesting a full continuance for Mr. Warman so that we can do additional work on his case and explore drug court as an option.
Excellent. Mr. Warman, I hope you get into drug court.
Thank you.
If you don't, then you'll need to be back here on January 13th at 9.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dylan Womack.
Hello, Mr. Womack.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good.
Good.
Judge, Mr. Womack is here in 24 CF 1752. This is the first pretrial. We are going to be requesting a continuance to set one round of depositions in this matter and see where we stand come January 13th.
Okay. Mr. Womack, the court will see you back here on January 13th. Stay in touch with Mr. McKinney.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Robert Zollner. Mr. Zollner is approaching in 24 CF 1976. The state's filed a two-count information related to Mr. Zollner, which is count 1, a grand theft auto, a third-degree felony, and count 2, fraudulent use of a credit card, which is a misdemeanor. I've discussed the case with Mr. Zollner, and he wishes to leave the case on the trial docket.
Okay. Is the state ready to try Mr. Zollner's case?
I might be a witness short on this case.
So the state's moving for a continuance?
Yes.
Mr. Zollner, I'm not aware of the state ever seeking a continuance in the past. And so I do grant that motion for continuance. So you need to be back here on January 13th, and then Judge Stone will be looking at setting it for trial at the end of that month. Thank you.
What time is that?
9 o'clock on January 13th. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. The remaining matters, I think I have waivers filed, so I'll turn it over to Mr. Koch.
Okay, Mr. Koch, folks in the gallery and Zoom.
Ms. Allison Regnanti is present. Correction. If we call Mr. Jonathan Pope. Judge,
Thank you.
who's present, approach.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, I'm seeking a one-cycle continuance. I have all the discovery, offer, everything. I just need Mr. Pope to come to my office so we can review everything and have this ready for the January 13th.
Okay. Mr. Pope, you're ordered by the court to meet with Mr. Koch. No later than Friday, November 22nd, okay? So you need to have a meeting with him. He needs to stay in touch with you. If you fail to do that as an officer of the court, I'm ordering Mr. Koch to notify me, at which point I'll issue a capias, and they'll arrest you without bond, and you'll sit in jail until the next pretrial, probably on January 13th. Not worth it. Make sure you make an appointment with him and attend that appointment no later than November 22nd. And then your case is continued until January 13th. Thank you.
You can call today, okay? All right, Mr. Pope. Judge, if we can call Mr. David Steele, who is